a terrible sentence. A 1-year-old girl was pepper sprayed by DHS as her parents drove home this weekend after a shopping trip. They had been at a Sam's Club getting the normal staples, diapers and milk and eggs and all that. And then a carload of federal agents come heading towards them, as an experience more and more Americans are unfortunately having since we've been invaded by DHS and ICE. And so because the governor of Illinois, Pritzker, told people you should be filming these interactions, they decided to actually do that. And so we have a little bit of tape of what happened after the pepper spraying.
This is what ICE does. This is what these terrorists do to babies.
Mama, you okay, Mama? You okay? You okay, Mama? You okay, Mama? You okay?
Yeah, I can't imagine me being pepper sprayed, let alone a 1-year-old who would have no capacity to understand what's happening. Although I guess in that she's kind of like us. Most of us don't understand what the hell is going on or why this has become as normalized as it is. But ICE clearly doesn't care about who they hurt. They pepper spray babies, they smash car windows, spraying babies, toddlers with glass. They throw flashbangs in. They don't care about any of this stuff. And so we want to cover this so that you know what's happening, how barbaric it is, because I think most people do care. That's why so many people have turned against Donald Trump on the topic of immigration enforcement. But I don't have any hope that the sort of people signing up for ICE are going to be turned off at all by this. Some of them may sign up as a result of seeing this clip, but we have some more details of the child saying she couldn't open her eyes, struggled to breathe. They said you shouldn't be targeting kids, which should be obvious. Apparently, the child, the 1-year-old Ariana, has become clingy towards her parents who say they were not part of any protests. Neighbors might be protesting, but they're not doing anything. And so, yeah, the child is gonna be clingy. The child likely has been traumatized by this experience. That's worse than anything any kid should have to go through. And unfortunately, they went through it not because some criminal did something, well, technically, but no, it's an agent of the government deciding that this is how massive amounts of taxpayer dollars should be spent, flooding the streets with out of control, unaccountable, and often anonymous people like these agents so that kids can get pepper sprayed. That, JR, I guess is how they save us from the murderers and all that. What do you think?
You know, those toddlers and their fighting age of 2, at the point when they can start scaring these sorry soft guys in the White House. So obviously this is terrorism. We keep seeing it increase. And as they're waiting for more people to do the normal thing that folks would do when their families get attacked, is fight back. That's what they're looking for. They're waiting for more violence to be returned to them as they keep triggering it. And then when that finally happens at larger scales, then they'll claim that they're being attacked by these insurrectionists, these United States citizens, and therefore we have to trigger the Insurrection Act. It's all the buildup. As we saw, they lost those elections last week. They continue to say things that and carry out policies that American people don't want. And now they're attacking as many people as possible, including folks' children. I remember it was on Halloween. They chased a bunch of kids through a park. There was another story I saw of them snatching adults out of a car and then these ICE agents jumping in that same car with a child in the back seat and just took off with it. Yeah. Who knows where they're going and what they're doing with it? Who cares? The whole purpose here is to anger enough people that they finally do all that stuff that those right-wing militia groups and all those Second Amendment people kept talking about, and do it on a broader scale that they can then claim, look at our beloved criminal terrorist ICE agents, they're finally getting shot in the face. And then after it happens, then they're gonna say, look, woe is me. I can't believe that our ICE agents are being attacked by the rogue citizens of the United States of America. We must attack back.
Well, why don't we turn to not just how they're hurting us, but how they're hurting each other and their own efforts with this. This is a fun little development. There's apparently some infighting at DHS. So you have figures like that guy, Tom Homan, and then of course, Kristi Noem, who have very different strategies of how they want to pursue deporting as many people as possible. So Tom Homan, he wants to do it in what he would consider like the old school fashion. And so he wants to use traditional methods, including police research, to develop target lists and to give priority to people with criminal histories, which should not have to be a thing that you say, but just a reminder to everyone that they claim that's what all of this is about. But the factional warfare, they don't all agree that they should be going after the actual criminals. So you might be wondering, Okay, so if that's the traditional way, well, what's the non-traditional way? Well, that's Kristi Noem. And what is her priority? What does she care about? Well, she cares about having her little moment, doing her little hype videos, dressing up, getting her hair done and makeup, taking some photos, maybe some TikToks. It's gonna be fun. And so that's what she wants to do. She wants to do these large attention-grabbing operations like have happened in Chicago that are meant to push migrants to self-deport, I guess, because they're so utterly barbaric that people are like, well, I don't want to go through that. I guess I'll just leave willingly or whatever. And so that's what she wants to do. And so there really are different factions. Homan has the ear of the president and remains influential at the White House, whereas Noem and the guy that she's dating, Corey Lewandowski, have direct authority over personnel and policy decisions. So that could potentially become even more of an open fight, especially if Donald Trump starts to try to rein in Kristi Noem. We'll see. But her tactics are not necessarily getting to the numbers that Donald Trump or the guy who's actually in charge, Stephen Miller, want to see. So in Chicago, they've been doing all these operations, but they haven't actually been boosting their arrest numbers nearly as much as they need to. As of late October, ICE and Customs and Border Protection have made 3,000 arrests in Chicago over 2 months. That's the same number the White House has demanded they make a day. So that's a lot. That's gonna be pretty difficult. And you need to hit those daily numbers if you wanted to be deporting the, I don't know, 10 to 100 million people they think they're gonna eventually deport, JR. What do you think?
Again, I guess their plans just don't work out. Even their mass deportation, hateful policy plans that they really thought would, I guess, attract enough people. Who was left to then still be a part of supporting this stuff? 3,000 a day. Like, there's no way they actually thought, I mean, Stephen Miller probably thought that because he's demented, but they actually thought that if that number got to that point, and maybe that is the purpose, going back to my original thought on this, if you're going that hardcore on it, you're going after so many vulnerable, normal folks in this country that the fight would have to be had in the streets. It would be constant. Like, they're already trying to get there. But I guess the incentive base is enough. I guess those pullback of those incentives that they dangled in front of these idiots, these Proud Boys faces that before they recruited them over there, it just wasn't enough. Maybe they're running out of gas. Maybe their fat guts don't allow them to run and chase down people enough, and they just can't keep up. So again, I guess that's why now toddlers are being targeted. They're frustrated and they're like, well, we have to go for someone that we can overpower. Let's go for the children. It's sad. It's disgusting.
It is. If you enjoyed that, make sure that you never miss another video by subscribing. And if you want a little more, consider hitting the join button and becoming an actual member. But you're probably wondering, why the hell would I do that, John? First off, calm down. The stakes in this are very, very low. But also, when you click the join button and you become a member, you get access to bonus content that I make every week, and it's a ton of fun. You get access to tons of custom emojis and more besides that. By the way, if you join at tier 3, you even get access to a monthly member hangout with myself and other awesome people, and we always have a great time. By the way, you'll get all that going forward, but you also unlock years of the back catalog. That is literally 100 or more bonus clips, top 10 lists, debates, and more. What are you waiting for? Click the join button below. Your support powers our show, and we couldn't do it without you. Or at the very least, I wouldn't really want to try. Viewers like you keep me here. So thank you in advance for joining.